Welcome back to my channel, Knowledge Spread by Sir Boots. In this vlog, we are going to deal with logic. And so, logic involves proposition. And so, we're going to discuss about proposition. Proposition is a declarative sentence that is either true or false, but not both. If the truth value is true, it is denoted by uppercase letter T. And if the truth value is false, it is denoted by the uppercase letter F. Example 1. Determine whether each of the following statements is a proposition or not. If proposition, give the truth value. Note, proposition is represented with lowercase letter. So let's start. Proposition P. Mindanao is an island of the Philippines. Solution. This is a declarative sentence, and Mindanao is an island in the Philippines. Hence, P is a true proposition. Let's go to Q. Find a number that divides your age. Solution. This is an imperative sentence, and so it is not a proposition. R. My seatmate will get a perfect score. Solution. The statement is a declarative sentence, although the truth value will only be known after the logic exam. We know that it can only be either true. My seatmate gets a perfect score, or false. She has some mistakes, but not both. Hence, R is a proposition. S. Welcome to the Philippines. Solution. The statement is exclamatory sentence, and so it is not a proposition. So it's not period, it's exclamatory. Okay. Let's go to proposition T. The proposition T. 3 plus 2 equals 5. Solution. Obviously, 3 plus 2 equals 5 is a true mathematical sentence. But is it a declarative sentence? Yes. To see this note, you may read it as the sum of 3 and 2 is 5, which is clearly a declarative sentence. Therefore, T is a proposition. We will illustrate proposition in symbolic form against proposition in English. So let's have this table. 2 is a natural number. This N represents or is a symbol of natural number. Next, negative 100 is an integer. Z represents or is a symbol of an integer. Next, the constant pi or pi is an irrational number. Q is a symbol of is a rational number, but since this E is last represents not, no, or irrational, this becomes irrational number. Next, the constant pi is a real number. R represents a real number, or it's a symbol of real number. So next, we have the square root of 2 is less than 2. So the square root of 2 is less than 2. Here, below, it is a natural number, or the set of all natural number is a subset of the set of all integers. And the subset of all the set of all integers is a subset of all rational numbers, and all rational numbers is a subset of real numbers, all real numbers. So we illustrate proposition in symbol in the left side, and in the sentence, declarative sentence, in the right side. Now let's go to the next. F of x is equal to the square root of x over x plus 1 is a rational number. Solution. This is a declarative sentence, therefore a proposition. However, its truth value is false, in the sense that in the numerator, the square root of x is not a rational number. This function becomes not rational. So false. Next, V. What is the domain of the function? You are asking questions, so the sentence is an interrogative sentence, hence not a proposition. W. I am lying. Solution. It is a declarative sentence, but it is either true or false. Hence, not a proposition. I am lying. It could be true or it could be not. So, the truth value is either true or false. The truth value is true or false. No, it may be true, it may be false. So, not a proposition. Basis. So that is the definition of the proposition. That proposition is a declarative sentence that is either true or false, but not both. Okay. P1. Let's go to P1. P1. It is not the case that the square root of 2 is a rational number. Solution. This is a declarative sentence. No. And square root of 2 is not a rational number. Hence, this is a true proposition. P2. Either logic is fun and interesting or it is boring. Solution P2 is a declarative sentence which is true for anyone because each of us finds logic either fun or boring. Hence, P2 is a true proposition. Let's go to P3. P3. If you are a grade 11 student, then you are a Filipino. Solution. This is a declarative sentence, but this is not true. There are also grade 11 students that are of other nationalities. Let's go to proposition 4 or P4. 4. If you are more than 60 years old, then you are entitled to a senior citizen's card. And if you are entitled to senior citizen's card, then you are more than 60 years old. Solution. This is a true proposition. Furthermore, you can express the whole sentence as you are more than 60 years old if and only if you are entitled to senior citizen's card. Okay? I hope that by this presentation, you learn how to determine whether a sentence is a proposition or not. And whether you know whether the sentence is declarative, another sentence like interrogative, explanatory, imperative. Okay, so let's go to simple and compound proposition. Let's define. A compound proposition is a proposition formed from simpler propositions using logical connectors or some combination of logical connectors. Okay, or some combination of logical connectors. Some logical connectors involving, let's have it as period. Some logical connectors involving P and Q be expressed as follows. Not P, P and Q, P or Q. If P, then Q, where the symbol stands for some proposition. So we can have this because we can write proposition by symbol. Okay, let's go to the next. A proposition is simple if it cannot be broken down any further into other component proposition. Simpler proposition is also called as the building block of propositional logic. As in science, atom is the building block in chemistry. Example 2. Okay, let's go to example 2. For each proposition in example 1, determine whether it is simple or compound proposition. If it is compound proposition, identify the simple components. So let's go back to the the example number 1 sentences. We have this one. P. Mindanao is an island of the Philippines. Is it compound or simple? The answer is simple because it is already, it cannot be broken down into simpler components. R. My seatmate will get a perfect score. Still, the answer, this is simple. 3 plus 2 equals 5. Answer, simple. Let's go to proposition 1. It is not the case that the square root of 2 is a rational number. So here, this is compound. Why? Because we can extract them into simpler exponent. Like the first one, it is not the case. Then the other one is the square root of 2 is a rational number. It is just being connected by logical connector that. Okay. So it is compound proposition. Proposition 2. Either logic is fun and interesting or it is boring. The simpler components are logic is fun and interesting. Then the second is it is boring. They are connected by either combination of the logical connectors either or. So either or. So this is a compound proposition. Proposition 3. If you are a grade 11 students, then you are a Filipino. So again, this is a compound proposition. It is using the logical connectors, a combination of logical connectors, if and then. Okay. So we can also illustrate proposition or determine proposition by way of table. No, we have this table for proposition in the left and simple components in the right. Like we'll take this P1 and P2. We will not include P3 and P4 because this is not the illustration for P3 and P4. So for number 1, P1, so the simpler component is, anyway, what is P1? It is not the case that the square root of 2 is a rational number. So here it's only, it is not the case, but we can have, it is not the case as one component, the other is R, the square root of 2 is a rational number. Another simpler components of P1. Let's go to P2 for a clearer illustration. In P2, we have either logic is fun and interesting or it is boring. So it is being broken down into 3 simple components, F, I, and B. The first component is logic is fun. That is F. The second is I. Logic is interesting. The third, B, logic is boring. So we can have this to illustrate the simpler components of the compound proposition P1 and P2. Okay, for P3, here illustrated, uh, the first simpler component is you are grade 11 students. The other simpler components is you are a Filipino. It's not being illustrated in the table. Okay. So anyway, let's go to the next. So by that, we can express the compound proposition as follows. P1, not R. Not R. P2, if and 1 or if and I or B. So because there are three simpler components in P2. So for P3, not illustrated there. No. So it's if H, then G. Anyway, we will not take this up because it's not illustrated there. Okay. So let's have an exercises for that. Then you are going to comment down your answer in the comment section. Just please comment down your answer in the comment section. The exercises is determine whether each of the following statements is a proposition or not. If a proposition, give its truth value. Okay, you just give its truth value. Letter A, mabuhay, mabuhay. Letter B, Jose Rizal is our national hero. Letter C, who is the first president of the Republic or of the Philippine Republic? Letter D, Ferdinand Magellan did not arrive in the Philippines in 1561. Letter E, 2.5 is an integer. Letter F, our logic teacher is either pretty or handsome. Letter G, smile at your seatmate. Letter H, the last kilometer marker up north is in Santa Ana, Cagayan, and the Palawi Island is also found there. I, 2 is an even and prime. J, 2 is a square of some number. 2 is a square of some number. K, if an integer is even, then its square is also even. So we are up here. Thank you very much. I hope that you learn from this presentation about logic. Let's continue in my next vlog. Thank you very much. Bye.